The Zonaite Armor is one of the most useful sets in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. With all pieces equipped, energy cell or battery duration is doubled, allowing you to power Zonai Devices for twice as long. Getting the complete Zonaite Armor set will require going to 3 locations high up in the sky and solving a puzzle at each, all of which will be covered in this guide. As usual, useful timestamps can be found in the video description. The boots are the easiest to reach, so that's where we'll go to first. They are located in the sky mines floating high over the Rist Peninsula. To get there, we will start by using the Ulri Mountain Skyview Tower. If it's your first time at this tower, you'll need to shoot down the nearby Arrokuda and bring the terminal back to the tower. Once in the air, fly east towards the Sky Island with the roaming Flux construct. You should see a partially built Zonai machine on the square part of the island, and we can use this to reach our destination. There are a total of 6 batteries in this area, and we will distribute them as evenly as we can across the 4 corners of the flying machine. Afterwards, we'll take control and fly northeast towards the Sky Mines. Even if you only have the single starter battery in your energy cell, it should still last long enough to get you close enough to the Sky Islands that you can glide the rest of the way over. Once there, we will activate the shrine and interact with the Zonai Gate to activate the launchers. To start, reposition the first launcher so that it's aiming towards the 3rd island up, then launch up to it. Here, we'll need to aim the launcher so that it will throw one of the large stone cubes into the floating orb. This may take a few tries, but fortunately there are plenty of cubes lying around. You may want to save before moving on to the next step, as if it is done incorrectly, reverting to the last save will be the quickest way to try again. All that said, we will now use the launcher to get ourselves into the floating orb, and you'll want to wait until this next explanation before moving the cube. This orb is tricky. Once the cube is put on the pressure plate, the opening of the orb will quickly lower beyond the halfway point and trap us inside. Then it will start spinning horizontally, never coming back above the halfway point. Because of that, we want to be in the orb opening when the pressure plate is activated. To do this, use Ultra Hand to grab the cube and hold it over the pressure plate for a few seconds. Then, move it back towards the opening of the orb. Drop it and climb back up to the orb's opening. Finally, while standing in the opening, use Recall to send the cube back through time. Once it's hovering over the pressure plate, cancel the recall, allowing the cube to fall onto the pressure plate. Try not to lose your footing as the orb's opening lowers and leap back through it once it's on the bottom side. All that's left is to open the chest to get the Zonaite Shin guards. The second piece we will go for is the chest armor, which is hidden within Zonaite Forge Island. You will need to bring along a few Zonai fans or any other devices that will help you gain altitude and move horizontally through the sky. And if you haven't gotten any stamina vessel upgrades, you will need a stamina replenishing consumable or 2. To reach Zonaite Forge Island, we will start by using the Rebella Wetlands Skyview Tower in southeast Hyrule. To access this tower for the first time, you'll need to burn away the surrounding thorns. Once in the air, glide further east towards the scattered islands. We will be commandeering one of these floating platforms for our own use. Our first goal is to get vertical, and you can do this with fans, hot air balloons, or whatever else works for you. We will eventually need to move northwest towards the enormous floating tower, but height is the bigger priority. You want to be around an altitude of 1700 or higher when you near the island, as the floating platform will disappear, leaving you to glide the rest of the way over. After landing, move counterclockwise around the island to reach the Zonai Gate, and interact with it to activate the forge. Next, use the fan's currents to ascend to the forge's apex. Once there, dive through the center towards the forge's interior, avoiding the laser grid as you go. You can activate the nearby shrine, but to get the armor, we will need to climb up the pillar behind it into a small nook. Finally, use Ascend to enter a secret compartment where the Zonaite Waistguard is waiting. The final piece of the set is located way up high on Lightcast Island. It is most easily reached from Rosepro Pass Skyview Tower, but that isn't the same as being easy to reach. You will want to bring along a few fans or rockets, and if you don't have at least 2 full batteries in your energy cell, be sure to bring along a few regular Zonai charges or a single large Zonai charge. In addition, this whole area is cold, so bring some cold resistant armor, spicy consumables, or fuse a ruby to a shield and equip it to provide some warmth. Burn or bypass the thorns near Rosepro Pass Skyview Tower, then use it to launch into the sky. From there, head northwest and land on one of the floating platforms. If you haven't done the main quest at Rito Village, there will be an active snowstorm reducing visibility. Once you've gotten to a floating platform, outfit it with some fans or hot air balloons and start rising into the sky. We will need to rise a far distance on this one, and it may take some time if you have a low battery capacity, but taking breaks to recharge is fine. You'll need to reach an altitude of around 1400 or higher, then reorient your fans and or rockets to move south towards the North Tabantha Sky Archipelago. Once again, the floating platform will disappear as we near our target, and if you don't have stamina upgrades, you'll need to glide efficiently to reach the center island. Once there, save the game in case things go sideways, then gather up the surrounding fans, rockets, and Zonai Wing to construct a flying machine. And if you have the other 2 pieces of Zonaite Armor, now would be a good time to equip it. Place the beefed up wing on the launch rails and take flight, standing near the rear to give as much lift as possible. Even with the 2 pieces of Zonaite Armor equipped, you will need around 2 full batteries of capacity in your energy cell. If you don't, you'll need to use some Zonai charges or 1 large Zonai charge to keep the fans powered long enough to reach the low gravity zone of the Tabantha Sky Archipelago. After making it to the low gravity zone, jump and glide towards the nearest sky island. Once there, first save the game, then fuse the 2 springs that are provided and use them to launch yourself further up. You should see a floating platform towards the southwest. Glide over to it and dispatch the construct, taking care to avoid hitting the rockets. Fuse the first rocket to the center of the platform facing straight up, and move the second rocket out of harm's way. Then hit only the first rocket for a vertical boost. Next, take the second rocket and angle it at 45 degrees. Fuse it to the center of the platform so that it is facing the large island towards the northeast, and activate it to get within jumping distance of our target. Finally, at Lightcast Island, it's a good idea to save before starting the puzzle. To begin, interact with the Zonai Gate to lower the water in the pond. Follow the beam of light down into the island and use a bomb or blunt weapon to clear away the rubble. The entire goal of this puzzle is to direct the beam of light through the dark cave with the provided Zonai mirrors. That being said, you can make the task a lot easier by lighting up the cave with bright bloom seeds. I also realized after already doing the puzzle that it would probably have been easier to line up the mirrors with Ultra Hand than the way I did it. In the final chamber, you'll need to defeat a soldier construct, then take its mirror shield. Use the shield to direct the beam of light into the gold hexagon sensor. After a few seconds of contact, the sensor will turn green and the room's walls will open up. Just above the sensor is a chest on a platform. Climb up to it to claim the Zonaite Helm. As mentioned before, each piece of the Zonaite set increases the duration of your energy cell, with the full set doubling it. In addition, upgrading all pieces to level 2 at a Great Fairy will provide a set bonus, which nearly doubles energy cell recharge speed. The only upgrade material that was difficult to find, at least for me, was the Captain Construct 1 horns, which you'll need 15 of in total. I've only found the Captain Construct ones to spawn consistently at 3 different locations, and they are all shrines. The first shrine is southeast of Terrytown, and I will not make a fool of myself trying to pronounce it. The second shrine is on Bravery Island in northern Hyrule, and the third shrine is on the West Hebra Sky Archipelago in northwest Hyrule. After completing these shrines for the first time, you can return about every 7 days of in-game time to get horns from the Captain 1 constructs. If you manage to gather enough Zonaite and construct horns to upgrade the Zonaite Armor set all the way to max level, it will give you a total defense of 84. If you want to see more great guides, you can head over to my channel, and if you're new, consider subscribing. You're helping me feed my cat. Her name's Marshmallow. Have a great day. If you're here today, have a great Friday and a great weekend, and as always, thanks for watching.